Hello. Hi, everybody. I am here today with you a little earlier than I am normally because I got shit to do later, but I do want to do this. So I'm here today to talk to you about the Raspberry Pi that I recently ordered and received in the mail. Thank you so much, Professor Black Ops, for recommending one. Because y'all know I went to Walmart to try to get one, and they told me to go to the dessert section. So it wasn't there. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to unbox my Raspberry Pi. I'm going to show you some Security Plus CYSA information that's going to go into the training. I hate that word training, but I'm going to use it anyway because that's what y'all are familiar with. And then, okay, we're going to talk about what I call the real technology. A lot of us are doing IT and cyber work, not even knowing what the technology is that we're working with, okay? Now, I need you to know, if you've never been to this channel, that, you know, we're really honest and open and stuff like that over here, okay? So if you're easily offended, you're probably in the wrong place. All right, now, let me open up this Pi, honey. Okay, so this is what I got. I ordered it from Amazon. Thank you, Professor Black Ops. All right, I got that. It was like, it's like $104, I believe it was. Okay, I haven't opened it yet because they wanted me to. I wanted to do it on camera. This is read me first. Okay, this is instructions about connecting the micro HDMI. All right. Oh, I have like a little note here and some support stuff on the back. Now this is the kit. Somebody told me just don't buy the Raspberry Pi, like get the whole damn thing, okay? Because normally if you buy it by itself, I think it's only like $30 or something. But they were like, So this comes with an HDMI. Now I don't have a project yet to use with this, okay? This is in there too. You see that? That's the C cord. I don't know what this is. This thing with the blue on it. I don't know what that is. I don't know. So as I do the project, this looks like a little fan. As I do the project, I'm going to be learning about it. Hey, Professor Black Ops. So glad to see you. Yeah, as soon as you told me, I went right to Amazon and I'm like, let me buy this damn thing. This is Raspberry Pi. Oh, this is the actual Raspberry Pi. This is it? Is that it? Let me open it. Oh, okay. So this is the actual thing. So by itself, if I buy this, it would just be like $30. Can I touch it? Like, is it okay if I get my fingers all over it? So this is it right here. Ooh, this is going to be fun. I got to find a really exciting project for this. So you know what? I went to last night when I was doing some stuff. I went to this website. I forget what the hell the name of it is, but it's apparently Sans runs it, and it like checks everything that's going on the internet every day, and it like updates you about different shit. So I went to that website last night, and it actually had some Raspberry Pi projects or something on it. I have to go back and look at it to see exactly what that is. And this is the case. This is the case for it. Okay. Very nice. Let's see what we're going to do here. So in one of the Security in the Black news things that I did, right? I talked about how Black Cyber interviewed Nico Smith, okay, with Blacks in Cyber. And he talked about how instead of getting laptops for kids and like, you know, in bad neighborhoods and who may have family members that would take the laptop and sell it and stuff, you know, they got Raspberry Pis, okay, because, you know, a crackhead don't know what the hell this is, you know, who are they gonna sell it to? You know what I'm saying? So he said he got these instead. Hey, Keep It Techie, so glad to see you here. So he got these instead. So I am really excited. Once I figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with this, I'll let y'all know, okay? Now, if y'all have done some Raspberry Pi projects that are fun or whatever, let me know. Because maybe I can do something with that related to my Python project. I don't know, possibly. All right, so I want to show y'all the stuff I'm getting together for Security Plus and CYSA. I'm super excited about it, okay? I really, really am, because I am not the kind of person that feels like I absolutely have to follow the recipe, okay? You know, you got a recipe for sweet potato pie, all right? I'm not the kind who thinks, you know, I gotta do it to the letter. I can't deviate this way or that way. No, I will, creating a pie hole. What is that? I'm gonna write it down. Pie hole. So y'all are gonna see that, okay? In the content I'm using to put this stuff together. All right, now, if I get kicked off, I'm coming right back on because I tried to share my screen. Hey, Alpha Cybersecurity, how you doing? So glad to see you here. I watched your interview the other day with, oh my goodness, I forget her name, but it was so good. It was really good. What is it? 33, I forget. But it was a great interview. And I joined the group on Facebook that she runs, and I followed her on Twitter. It was really great. Thank you for doing that. Okay, I'm gonna try to share my screen, all right? Because the last time I tried, it froze up and, you know, it was just acting crazy. So y'all pray with me that this works, because I want you to see. Dang it, why does that happen sometimes? Okay, let me try this. Sometimes it'll work on the other screen. Let's see. If not, y'all just have to listen to the sound of my voice, okay? Let me try it again. Share screen. Okay, that worked. All right, so I use Mural. This is what I use to put like all my planning. Here's my Python project and some of the stuff I have in there. This is the Linux thing. The CASHAPP, Security Plus and CISA is on this board. And I have a cyber escape room that I'm going to be putting some stuff together for here. So let's get to this board right here. Mural is nice. It's like $19 a month. And I need the space. Okay, so I got a whiteboard, but that stuff got so full so fast, I had to do something else. All right, so let me just show you here. So here's the CAP stuff. Some general learning, some blue team stuff I'm working on, some material I'm putting together, and I can show you this really quickly too. But this is where I want to go right here for the Security Plus and the CISA, because they're so closely related, right? So you know, so I'm just doing those together. Okay. So we're starting it off with interest-based learning, okay? Now let me tell you what I'm using. And I have to get used to using Mural. Okay, so this is interest-based learning. So the scenario I'm using is for this company. Now this is based on an actual thing, all right? So this is a company. Hi, NC Worker. It's very nice to see you. The company's called The Pleasure Chest, all right? It's a sex positive, let's read it right here. Gender inclusive, pro-woman, LGBTQIA+ brand of erotic devices pushing forward technological advances in human sexual pleasure. Yes, once again, this is the Security Plus and the CISA training that that's coming together for you all. This is the founder. Her name is Lennon C. Abram, okay? And this is an actual quote from an individual who has a company. It's not called The Pleasure Chest, but she was at a convention where they were rating the technological advances, okay? Now, she has a device, is just for women, okay? That's supposed to give us the most amazing orgasms we've ever had. I'm gonna get it, okay, because I'm interested, but something happened to where she got the prize and then they took it away, all right? Because they were saying, you know, it's immoral and all this other bullshit that they be talking about, you know, regarding that stuff. Anyway, that's the scenario. So what the learner is going to be doing, oh shit, I gotta lock this shit down on here. I thought I did. So what the learner is going to be doing, all right, is helping her and this company, these are the customers for the company, the LGBTQIA people, okay, to run. Like, you're just being hired into this company, you're going to be on the security team, and their threat landscape is such that, you know, there's a lot of organizations out there that, first of all, don't appreciate that she's catering to the LGBTQIA plus community, then that she's creating these kinds of products. Okay, so you know how we get with that kind of stuff. All right, so you've just been hired. This is the scenario right here. You've been hired into this organization that's having all these issues because of what they do. The CEO is saying, I don't care how much it costs. I need somebody in here who can help us be resilient, adaptive, and help us to grow despite all these threats around us. Okay. So you're going to go through an onboarding process. Now, this onboarding process is one that I actually created when I worked at OPM. So I'm going to modify this and all that stuff. Okay. So the CYSA objectives for this one are going to be here, and we have the Security Plus objectives as well. But I'm not going to go over them the way that you typically go over them in a Udemy course or even a CompTIA course. All right, because I'm going to do it in a way that makes sense, right? So because what we're doing here is working to help you not just memorize and know the difference between the various firewalls, but understand why the hell you even need these kinds of things. Okay, so let me show you some of the material though. This is what's interesting. So first of all, something I wanted to approach. Now, all of this may not be in there. Okay, this is just stuff I'm putting together, but we'll see. It's possible that you work for an organization, especially if you're going to a startup or something, right? That you're not going to be working in this kind of an organization. Okay, it may not be hierarchical. Every organization is not like that. Okay, and the best ones are not like this. Okay, you may go to an organization like this, like a holacracy, right? Which is a fascinating way. These circles change all the time. Okay, so it's a very, very fascinating organizational structure. Now look at this. I looked at other kinds of controls. Now what I found, okay, I consider myself a connoisseur of learning. Okay, from my learning. All of us need to be that. Connoisseur of learning does not mean you take every training out there, okay? It means you learn to learn on your own. Like, how do you want to learn this material, you know? So what I do is I go out and into other industries and I see, how do you all handle this kind of thing? Kind of like when I talked about biomimicry, you go to nature to find it. Well, other industries have controls too. It's not just cybersecurity, okay? Now, this is an example for street controls, okay? So this is their level of controls for the streets, okay? You got up here, elimination down to PPE, which is protective stuff that I put on, like a hat and, you know, gloves or the masks that we're walking around with, you know, with COVID and all that. That's a PPE, okay? To help protect us from whatever the threat is that's out there. So this is how they do that. This is called the Swiss cheese model, okay? So you see how you have all these holes right here are potential places that some kind of hazard can get into until it gets to an accident or what it's really trying to get to, okay? And on the way there, you have all these kinds of controls by these various groups, okay, put in place. So you got the policy, you know how we have our administrative, our technical, and our operational, right? So you got here the policy, you got here the profession has responsibility and shifting. I don't think we have like anything for cybersecurity. Like we don't have a code of conduct or anything like that I'm aware of. I don't know. And if we do, let me know. Inadequate training. So this is a team thing right here, right? And attention, clumsiness, and maintenance, individual, technical. So for this Swiss cheese model, these are all the places where you already have issues, okay? You already got them. Now, by not doing what needs to be done at your level of responsibility, you're just adding to the mess, right? You're creating even more opportunities, even more holes, you know, for the hazard or whatever to happen, right? Okay, so that's one of the things. Now, this one up here, oh, I didn't mean to move that. This is, my trash is coming. Pizza as a service. I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but this is really good to help understand all those as a service things, right? Okay, I didn't want to do that. So here you have homemade pizza is here all the way down to party, right? Where you have other people doing stuff, you know, instead of you doing it. Can y'all hear that? The trash guy is out there making all that noise. So this is another thing, okay? Pizza as a service is something that I'm considering in there. Okay, now look down here. This is so interesting. I didn't know about this until recently. The way that DevOps people, at least from what I've heard, talk about, okay, this thing is, hold on a second, y'all. Let me get this out of the way. I gotta lock this stuff down. Okay, here, pets and cattle. That's how they talk about servers, right? I had no idea about that. So what they say is that for the pets, these are the things, you said CISSP has a code of ethics. Okay, all right, I have to look into that. For the pets, these are the things that you give names, you take care of the care and feeding of these. If they get sick, you know, or hurt or whatever, you're right there to spend whatever money you need to make sure they're good. And okay, so those are the what they, here it says legacy infrastructure. Now the stuff in the cloud, right? You don't even know what that stuff is, you know, most of the time. You have no idea, right? So you're not naming them, and if something breaks down, you just spin up something else or whatever, right? So this is the cloud-friendly, what they're calling it here, infrastructure, okay? But my question, though, is, okay, let's say we do this for the pets, and we do this, you know, have this attitude about what's in the cloud and the cattle. Now, this all goes into more of the CAP stuff, which talks about what assets do you have? Before you talk about anything else, anything, tell me what assets you have. What the hell is on your farm? Okay, that's what I'm trying to find out. So once we find that out, okay, now the question is, if the pets and the cattle are ways to get to me, okay, me, the head of the farm, let's just call me that, right? Or the asset, the main asset, then what kinds of controls would I need for the cattle? And what kind would I need for the pets? Because if the point is to get to me, I eat the cattle. Okay, I eat cattle. We eat cows and hamburgers and shit. So if somebody wants to get to me, they're probably going to poison the water or the grass or whatever the hell, so that when I eat it, I get hurt. Okay, now I ain't gonna eat my dog or my cat. So doing that shit it's not gonna get to me. It's gonna hurt my pet, yeah, but you're not gonna get to me. So if your goal is to get to me, what kind of control would I need for the pet, right? Now the control for the cattle is to protect the water, you know, make sure I got guards around the gate, nobody comes in and all that, because I don't want them, you know, to get to the cow such that it eats something. It doesn't die, you know, but it eats something so that it's, you know, it's contaminated, so that when I eat it, you know, something happens to me. So that was just a thought that I had based on what these categories are. And here's another, this is an extra one. This person talks about pets, cattle, and ants, okay? And he says in this article, DevOps, you can go look it up. I have the link here, but go ahead and look it up. DevOps are your servers, pets, cows, or ants. He talks about how, now the same kind of thing, right, where the pets are the ones you name, it's your baby, it's the first one you had, and all that. And then you got the cows, and then the ants. He said the goal is to be like an ant colony, so that you really, I mean, who names ants? You know, you ain't even thinking about ants. And when ants, if something is looking to destroy ants ain't looking at you to come fix it. Okay, they do that shit on their own. They got their own system up and running, so that if somebody come in there and try to get to the queen, the ants are on it. They are on it, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. All right, now this is, okay, so here's another part that I'm thinking about adding. These are old advertisements for office equipment. All right, look at this. Past, present, look at the future phone. Okay, isn't that cool? The shape is just different, basically. But look, at this time, this was the past. If you show this to Professor Black Ops, show this to one of your students right here, they're gonna be like, what is that? A gavel? Like, what is that? No, that was part of a telephone. Okay. And here's another one. Look, no hands. I think, what is she doing? Is this a printer or something? Yeah, I believe this is a printer or a copier. That's what it is, a copier. Because remember, so when I was really little, I remember going to my aunt's job and she had copy paper. It was the paper with that ink. Man, you even think about touching that paper and your hand was going to be full of ink. You ain't just think about touching it, okay? And your hands was going to be full of that purple shit, right? For the to copy that paper. So here's another thing. Cogito won't throw you a curve in standard deviation or correlation. Look at this high-tech calculator, okay? And then empty stamp box blues. So what are we doing today? Like, why is information, oh, look here, your Rolodex. Your Rolodex right here. So, I mean, the point of this is before, you know, the internet, before people had information systems, you know, in our organizations and all that. But the work that this stuff does hasn't gone away. We still need to copy shit. People still making calculations. I still got to send stuff to people, okay, in mail. We're just not doing it this way. I still need a list of people I can contact and know where to go to get them, all right? But it's not like this anymore, all right? Which is why we need you all, okay? We got the IT, we got the technology to do that. Now we need to keep it safe because this stuff is important. We don't want people to get to this many times, right? Which is where all your CIA and all that stuff comes in. All right, now, child, this thing is all off the board. I'm gonna have to lock this down to make sure it doesn't do that. Okay, let me show you one more thing. Look at this blue team stuff. Now, I've been reading and looking at videos and looking at various things. This was something I saw the other night. I did not know that this was happening or possible. Remote browser isolation. Have y'all heard of remote browser isolation? Because what I did know, what I did look up is the top ports that are attacked, okay? And these are some of them. This is what one article said, the top ports that come under attack. And where is the other one? There's another one here. Oh, it's down here. It's the purple one. This is what this article said. 3 ports, it says, you have the vast majority of vulnerabilities. That's here you go. SSH, HTTPS, and HTTP, they said. All right. And this RDP and TCP come in 4th place. All right. So related to this guy was talking about this. He said most of the attacks happen over the browser. Okay, that's how folks get access to things they don't need an access to. You need, or you know, or they get in places where they ain't got no business. Okay, through the browser. So Silo is the company have come up with a patented remote browser isolation process. Okay, where this is the old way right here. You got the, you know, the stuff here and the things out here that are trying to get in here and do through email and websites and stuff like that, right? Here's the new one over here. Okay, now look at where the browser is. No, not right here. It's over here. This is the old one right here, legacy. Browsers are inside with me. Okay, I'm at work, I'm in my house. The browser is right here in front of me. Okay, and we try to put the controls and stuff, you know, out here to protect it. But this is the new one right here. Okay, where the browser is out here. Okay, everything is in here. I'm the user, but I come out here, you know, past the security perimeter to access the browser. And he talked about all the various things you can do to do that. Okay. Now the channel was Security Weekly. That's the YouTube channel that had this person on there to do it. Keep It Techie, you said you heard of browser isolation. It's containerized the browser connection, I think. He does a really good explanation of what it does and how it does it. But I didn't know that. I had no idea that this was even, you know, being thought about or something, you know. So this is interesting. So I'm definitely going to be using stuff like that. So, and this is one of the things he talked about. He said people in a SOC are so busy taking care of this browser foolala, okay, that they don't have time to do other stuff. Namely, what do you call it? DNS tracking, I think he called it, right? He said, and this is stuff that they need to be doing, but they don't have time because they're doing, you know, like low level type things. So what he was saying, and I don't know if it was just a sales pitch or not, but he was saying with this remote browser isolation, that takes a lot of the weight off of people in the SOC so they can get to the more not important things, but other kinds of things. Okay, because the browser may be the most, you know, the way that's used most often, but it's not the only way, right? That folks, you know, try to do stuff. So he was talking about that. And then this is just some other research I was looking at. Port exhaustion. I've been learning about port exhaustion and why that happened, at least with Microsoft, okay, and how their external ports were they weren't as many as they could have been. So they went ahead and they used recommendations to make those ports more, to increase the number of ports so that port exhaustion issues, they weren't having those issues anymore. Oh, and these are some of my questions. Can you salt a port number? And so it would have to be not the assigned port numbers, but like the ones that we use. And I don't think so, but I'm not sure. So I asked the question. Opportunity. Okay. Okay. Now look at this right here. Like I said, I go into other places as well to find out what they're doing, you know, when it comes to controls and things. So I went to engineers who manage natural occurrences like earthquakes and volcanoes and tornadoes and all that. What kind of stuff do they do to ensure people and structures are secure when these events happen? Okay. So here are some engineered solutions they've come up with. Lead rubber bearings. And look, I highlighted what they do. Like, why do they need these things? Okay. Now this is for earthquakes. The first, all these right here, this is earthquakes. Okay. Earthquakes are not attacking anybody. They're, you know, that shit just happens when the conditions are there, which is something I talked about, right? It's an event, you know, that happens when conditions are there. Is silo secure? That is just another attack vector for the hacker. Is the container on-site or cloud? TLS 1.2 encryption. I don't know. Those are Professor Black Ops. I needed you over there in the, these are great questions. My Linux server is constantly attacked on port 22. I have failed to ban enabled to block IPs based on failed login attempts. Okay. Most people use a non-standard port, so slow the brute force, to slow the brute force process. Okay. So we did, oh, let me get back to here, because y'all know I get off track. I start talking about other shit real easy. All right, so here, right, this is what they've done for earthquakes. Lead rubber bearings, steel plate shear walls, okay, to limit the lateral force in buildings, okay? These walls absorb stress and bend, but they don't break. Okay, this one up here again, deflects. So with the earthquake, you get waves of energy, okay? This thing deflects that and it absorbs the energy so that they don't cause as much damage. Tuned mass dampers. This is a counterweight, okay, to keep the balance centered or to control the movement. Seismic cloaking, this creates a protective barrier. Now look at this. I thought this was so interesting. It modifies the soil and other ground materials surrounding the building, okay, to deflect and redirect the force of the earthquake. I thought that was so interesting. So it's not even something done to the building, right, which these other things are. This is done to the stuff around it, you know, which I thought was, man, super interesting. And what I'm doing this so that we can try to think of other kinds of things to do, right? I mean, just get really creative with what can we do with this control, or what other controls can we use or put together or something, you know, to make what our systems, you know, able to better absorb, you know, what's happening, or to bend and not break, and, you know, and all that, so that the real assets are kept secure. Okay. And then tornadoes, this collaborative adapting sensing of the atmosphere, or CASHAPP radar, reveals blind spots. I did not know that the current radar we have now, this is in production, at least as of, you know, when this article was done, that the current radar, we have a blind spot of like 75% of the atmosphere. That's an enormous blind spot. Okay, huge blind spot. And this thing is supposed to help reveal that blind spot. All right, so we can see what's coming. And in the article, they actually had an example of where they tested it, and they were able to get people out there and warned, you know, in a more timely, fashion. All right. So this is small antennas attached to buildings and cell towers, right? And again, just like the soil, it's not a control on the thing, right? It's something on other stuff around it, right? That helps to, you know, make sure that the assets inside this other thing are protected. And then the smart grid. All right, same thing for the smart grid. It pulls on other stuff, right? Not just what's inside it, to help detect it and repair afterwards. All right, so I you know, that's very interesting things. So finally, before I get to the last thing, this is some. No, I thought I put something else on here. Maybe I didn't. Because of the way I learn, and this is just my perspective, okay, I feel like people learn better when they are in charge of their own learning. Okay, that's just not just better for them. Okay, because the way I learn, you know, that this ain't gonna work for other people. Okay, it's just not. You know, you got to find your way, honey. Okay. So, but there's levels to this, right? We kind of try to put everybody down here. Okay. You need the step-by-step. I got to set your goals. I got to tell you how you're going to get there. I got to tell you what you're going to learn here, what you're going to learn there, what you're going to be able to do, all that stuff. Okay. When in reality, once we wake up and come out of a dream world, where we feel like we're in control of what somebody else learns, okay, because that shit is not true. It's just not true, okay? Once we come out of that, we realize that we don't, you know, have that much control, right? We really don't. Everybody, seriously, everybody is here, stage 4. Everybody is self-directed, okay? Everybody. Now, I say of myself, now I'm a learning designer, right? I do that stuff. I also teach a little, okay, and I love it. I facilitate mostly, but like, you know, when I'm helping my kids or something like that, I'm a little bit more in the role of a guide or a teacher, but just a little bit. But I understand that at the end of the day, you control how much you learn. Nobody can do that for you. You can delegate training. Okay, you can say, go here for training, go there for training, do all that. You cannot delegate learning. Learning and training are two separate things, okay? Learning is personal. It's like, learning is like having an orgasm. Can't nobody do that for you. Who can do that for you? Okay, now they may be able to stimulate you in some way, but at the end of the day, who got to do it? Okay, that's you. That's learning. All right, that's learning. Okay, just so we're clear. Okay, all right. Now, somebody else can train, and talk and show slides and, all this, but they cannot learn for you is what I'm saying, right? They cannot do it. You have to do it at the end of the day. Now, so everything I'm doing, I keep that in mind. And I say of myself that nobody needs me for this. Nobody needs you for this. Nobody. No, listen, if I die today and I never teach another lesson, whoever I was teaching does not need me for this. Okay. They just don't. So my question then is, if nobody needs me to learn, okay, then how can I add value? That's what I ask. If nobody needs Cheryl to do this stuff she's doing, how can I then add value, right? So that means my job now, or what I can do, is related to the experience you have while learning. So this is like this, right? People need, so they don't die. People need to eat, right? We need food, whatever it is. Okay. So let's say now you need potatoes you need food. So let's say you're going to eat some food, right? You can eat a potato. You can go boil a potato in some water or whatever the hell, put it in the oven. You can eat it and your body will take it in. It will take the nutrients it wants, whether you like it or not. I don't care. It don't matter. Your taste ain't got shit to do with it. Okay. Your body needs food, whether you like potatoes or Brussels sprouts or carrots or whatever. That's a whole different thing. Okay. Getting it in your gut so your body can use it to stay alive is the point, right? Now, so nobody needs Outback. Nobody needs Cheesecake Factory or Ruth Chris. Don't nobody need that. Okay, so why do they go? I ain't gotta pay $100-something for some Kobe steak. I ain't gotta do that. Why do you do it? You do it for what? The experience, right? You want to have a different kind of experience, but you don't need it. All right. So you want people to, come to you for the experience, right? So we can stop lying to ourselves, that people need us to learn or to be our teachers or whatever, because that is not true. All right. But the way you do it, the way you present the information, right? Especially if it's a way that helps them get to stage 4, because of the way I feel that we're conditioned. I know I've only lived in this country, so I don't know about other parts of the world. I suspect in India, just because of some stuff, I've heard from other instructors over there, but we are made to believe we can only be on level 1. If you're going to learn anything, you need a master. Okay. You need a teacher or if you're going to learn anything. Okay. That's what we're made to believe, right? If the school burns down, that means my child can't learn. They can't learn nothing. All right. Because there's no school. Right. That's why I say there's a difference between learning, education, and training. All 3 of those are different. Okay. The first, like the foundation, is learning. Okay. And then you have education and training, which is more about, so if learning is like a jungle, okay, training and education are like a garden, right? Where you go in and you clip this off and you build this up more and you put more roses over here and you mow the lawn and make it look a certain way. That's because everything you learn in history is not all of history. Okay. Plus, people have colored it and moved it around and shaped it in the ways they wanted to, That's what education is. Somebody else taking something and shaping it the way they want it to be shaped. Okay. Because everybody does not, so that is not learning. Okay. You can absolutely learn that thing in a different way and different kinds of information, right? To inform what you're doing. So that's that. Now, which leads me into the last topic. Okay. This is not for the faint of heart. Okay. Just so y'all know, we don't play over here. The real technology. Now, I've already talked to y'all about what I'm doing with Python and about how I've been looking into bits and bytes and memory and RAM and all that shit, right? So we've talked about that. Now, the thing that I'm basing what I'm doing all of this on is helping people get to a more complete understanding of what they're actually doing. All right. It's like, I don't know if y'all know this, but when you ask how and when you ask why, you're asking the same thing. How and why are the exact same thing. All right. It's just that why is a more abstract, can't really put your finger on it. How is like the, okay, right here, physical, this is what I do for this, right? Like, what's the purpose of a pencil? Okay, to write, to record or whatever, right? Whatever the purpose is. So, and then you get down to the, well, how do you do that? You hold the pencil, you angle it, and then how do you do that? So you keep asking, how do you do that? And then how do you do that? It's almost like the 5 whys, right? And how do you do that? And until you get to the bigger why, to write sonnets of my love to whoever, okay? And then you go back down with why. Well, why do you do that? And why do you do that? And why do you do, until you get down to the concrete, which is the how. Okay, just so y'all know that what this is we talking about. Okay, so now if we think about memory, typically we think about memory and we equate it to our memory, right? The human brain, okay, that it stores and records and all that, right? But from what I found, that's not the proper equation. Okay, that's not the proper equation. And I think we've equated it like that because of some of the things that computer memory does. Okay, so for ours, so before I go there, let me go to technologies, right? The technologies that have been created that enable other shit to happen. All right. So I wrote down a few, like, over the years. So just a few, right? Anesthesia is one. Having anesthesia when you get that's a technology that was created that enabled, all kinds of stuff, right? Just being able to not feel the pain when you go into surgery, okay? The printing press, y'all remember the printing press, that did a lot for, what's that dude's name? The one who started the new religion from the Catholics, right? Being able to print, allowed him to get the word out. And what the hell was his name? He started the Protestant thing. Damn it, I forget his name. So there's that, right? The printing press. Sanitation, okay? Your toilet and all them pipes and stuff. That was an innovation that really, advanced everybody for. Now listen, when I say this, I'm talking about global. That sent us globally forward, right? Not just a one group of people. And also things like refrigeration, the steam engine, all those kinds of things, which, helped advance stuff. Now, what is the technological advancement that we're talking about here when we talk about security, right? What technology are we protecting here, right? And I'm talking about one, the one that's common to everything. All right, all your IoT devices, your laptop, your phone, the one technology that's common to all of that, okay, is that somebody or somebodies got together. It may have been at CERN. I don't know. Was it at CERN? I got to look that up a little bit more. But got together and said, you know what? Let's make physical space. You see the space that's around us right now, that we got furniture and shit in? I'm not talking about the atmosphere. I'm talking about the space, okay? Let's make that, somebody said, okay? And that's what it is, right? That's our memory, the space that we have to do shit, okay? Somebody made that. Okay, you didn't make this, which was the point of that article by that the retired Air Force. It's called cyberspace is not a warfighting domain. That's the name of the article. Cyberspace is not a warfighting domain. It's not an article, it's a paper that he wrote, okay? And I talk about it in several of my videos here. And one of the things he said that makes it not a warfighting domain is that we made it, okay? We made the space that we call cyberspace. It's a physical space that we made. He said with the other warfighting domains, you know, air, sea, water, whatever the hell the other one is, land, okay, we ain't have shit to do with that, all right? Shit to do with that, all right? So he said that's one of the main reasons why he's saying it's not a warfighting domain, because we make it, okay? We make it, we can unmake it and make it more here and less there. We can't do that with the other ones, right? That was the one thing. So when it comes to the space, the physical space that we've created with bits and, you know, the devices that, you know, all those bits and shit are on, you know, all that computer science type stuff, you know, that's the stuff, right? That's allowed, that's the innovation, that's the technology. The making of space is the technology, right? That we're here to protect, right? And to use, right? Because that's an innovation that has, man, a global one, right? Used globally, that has just moved us forward in so many ways, right? I mean, unimaginable ways. The fact that we can actually make space, all right? That we can actually, and unmake it, you know, take it away where we don't want it to be, okay? Now, of course, we got a lot of space invaders, right? That we call hackers, try to get up in some shit and do, you know, do this kind of things they want to do. But that's another video. I already talked about that. So some of the things, right, that we do in this space that we've made, you know, of course, you know, and I'm learning more about it now that I'm taking Python. Now I'm doing these Python things. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to go and do some more Python stuff. Okay. But, you know, of course we can load applications in there and, you know, read, write, and execute and all that. And these are the kinds of things, this fundamental stuff, okay? Fundamental stuff, which is not now talked about in Security Plus or CISA. Listen, a lot of this stuff I had to learn on my own, right? Because somebody already did the outline of what Cheryl needs to know if she's going to be a certified cybersecurity analyst. This is what Cheryl needs to know, okay? I actually need to know more, okay? Just because that's the way I'm built. I'm huge on the why, because I feel like if I know the why of something, you know, that allows me to be a lot more creative than just knowing the what it is, okay? Or even how to use it, okay? Because the why, so it's like doing that analysis and finding out, okay, I see how to put this control on, okay? Professor Black Ops, I have the checks. I got that, okay? I see how to do it. But why am I doing this? Like, why this and not that, okay? Why does it have to be this way and not that way? Now, everybody is not interested in going into anything at that, you know, at that degree, right? But I am, because I'm a learner, all right? And I want to know because I want to, first of all, share, like I'm doing here. I want to share what I learned, okay? And I want to be able to think of, well, is there another way we can do that? right? Is there something else we can use? Is there another place we can go? Does it have to be this way? I mean, just because, you know, somebody 40 years ago said it was that way, or can we do something else, you know, especially in technology, right? Which gets me to that blue team stuff. Y'all know how disturbed I am. You know, I talk about it. You see it. You witness the level of disturbance I have when it comes to blue team and feeling like they're not getting the love. They just not. Listen, I'm a social worker at heart. Okay. Oh, hi, Maddox12. So happy you're here. The checks show you why and mitigation of the attack. It's not a deep enough why for me, right? So I'm trying to find out, like this stuff here with the. I read the definition of memory and RAM, and I got all that right on the test, right? But it was actually doing the Python stuff that had me asking deeper questions about what exactly this is, you know? And again, people learn differently, you know? For some people, that definition and stuff would have been fine. Like they got it like that. Okay, I see. You know, I'm a little bit more difficult, okay, when it comes to that. And need more blue team work. I agree, Maddox. So there's an organization called, what is it called? Security Blue Team, I think it's called. I'm connected with them on LinkedIn, and they actually have what sounds like, I haven't seen it, but I want to see it. Okay. And I'm going to try to get in contact with the guy so I can. It sounds like the OSCP for blue team. Okay. Because the people who gets the certification, right, it's much more involved than the CISA. I mean, you have to get on a machine, like the same way I'm hearing the OSCP is, where you have to get on a machine. You got 24 hours to get points and do all that blue team. And that's the level 1. I think they have like 3 levels. Okay. I am super interested in seeing what the hell that is. Okay. Security Blue Team, I believe it's called. And I'm going to contact that person because I want to see it. I want to see a demo of it. You know, I want to see what they do because I feel like, I think it's unfair, right? That first of all, blue team and red team should be the same team as far as I'm concerned. Like they're both working to make sure the organization is secure, right? But the narrative and all that seems to be you join the Discord of blue team. Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about something else? The narrative seems to be like they're separate, okay? And not just the narrative, hearing from more blue team than red, you know, how, you know, people got the blues have a problem with the red. Now, this is from what I heard, okay? I've heard of purple team. Oh, blue team village, is that what it is? Yeah, that sounds better. I have heard of the purple team, right, where they come together. But I'm feeling like, shouldn't that be everybody? I mean, why, you know, I don't understand. I don't know. I'm only, you know, like almost a year into this. So I have a lot of learning to do. I absolutely admit. But from what I've seen, and people in the amen section seem to concur, you know, that the balance, if you think of a scale, the balance, it's something is, you know, something's going on there, right? Which is why I'm as a designer, right? I'm doing all of this stuff because I don't want to just do what's been done. Because if I do that, then you're going to get what you've been getting. Okay. Now I'm feeling like something, and then you get this stuff like, I got to go teach the Zoom class. Oh, bye, Professor Black Ops. Thank you so much for being here. I got to go. Yeah, I just don't want to do what everybody else has done. That's not me. Okay. So that's what I had for you all tonight. So my Raspberry Pi, I'm going to let you all know what I'm going to do with that. Keep it techie. Thanks so much for that recommendation. For Pi-hole, I will absolutely look that up and see what that is about. I'm going to keep you updated on what I'm doing for Security Plus and CISA. I'm also working with someone to do CAP, the Certified Authorization Professional. Oh man, that's going to be so much fun because I feel like some of that CAP, if I'd have known some of that CAP stuff from my Security Plus, that would have really helped me get over the bridge. Like it really would have. Because Security Plus does not really give you the big picture. Like, and it doesn't have to be three days of the big picture. Okay, 30 minutes, you know, of the information system. Like I didn't know, like I wasn't aware that when we talk about securing stuff, that we're talking about like servers and you know, like it was just that. It seems like when you come into cyber, especially if you're not coming from IT, right? And you got that, you got people coming in, which I saw at that InfoSec, getting into InfoSec Summit, they're not coming from a help desk and they're, listen, and they're not starting there either, okay? Somebody who's been, you know, in a leadership position in HR is not going to go to a help desk, okay? Because they have other skills, right? They have other, but I do agree that we need to know more than we already know about information systems. We don't know the language. We don't know the role. Like we're just not aware of that, okay? So I feel like for people coming in who do get Security Plus and CISA or, you know, Network Plus, so, you know, wherever they're getting, they need the big picture. And listen, even people who have been at the help desk, okay, need the big picture because they don't have it either. All right. Now, I'm telling you what I know, not what somebody told me or what I read. Okay. I'm telling you what I know, what I've observed. All right. Everybody does not have the big picture, and we cannot assume. I don't think, because of the work we do, it is not safe to assume. All right. If we want these people to be as creative and innovative and critical thinkers like we want them to be, rather than following the recipe, okay? Because a lot of stuff we got going on is a recipe. Just go to this book, do it like that, okay? I've been doing with my partner, I've been doing the, what the hell is that shit? Under the wire, is it under the wire or over? Under or over the wire, child. We're doing it in Linux. One of them damn things. The one that's in Linux, okay? I've been doing those CTFs. And what's happening, let me tell you what's happening. Because Cheryl is the way she is, right? Because this is person-centered cyber. I see what the problem is. Over the wire gives you the problem, right? You know, and like clues, right? To get to the password. So I just try to, you know, figure shit out, you know, I don't, not all the answers, all of them, every single one is somewhere on Google. Okay. It's Googleable. Okay. It's Googleable. However, what I do is I said, well, first of all, let me see if what I already know, I can do some shit. Okay. So what I've been doing is I've been doing that, and I've been getting to places. First of all, I don't know what the hell I am, but what I do know is that that's the password. Okay. That's what I do know. All right. I didn't get it the way I was supposed to get it. Okay. I may have taken an extra step or two. However, I want to see what I know. Okay. Those CTFs to me are for me to see what I know. Okay. And so it's not so much about getting the flag. All right. I mean, you know, you get the flag, whatever. But the thing, when it's a learning CTF, okay, is for me to see what I know, not if I can get the damn flag. Okay. Because, you know, anybody can go to Google and do that shit. Right. That's not the kind of minds we're looking for Blue Team. Okay. We need minds that can think based on what you know. I don't care what you know. If all you know is how to lay concrete, okay, based on what you know, how are you going to solve this mystery that we have here? Okay. How you going to do that? All right. Now, yes, you bring in other things, other perspectives, but we need to ask different questions. That's the thing, right? We are not asking good questions. Okay. Ask different questions. Okay. Listen, let me tell you something. My boyfriend, Okay. I felt like he was, you know, crossing some boundaries. Or okay. So I asked him a question. I said, how did I ask the question? I said, let me see, what was the question? It was something about him being with somebody that I didn't think he should have been with. Okay. Now nothing nefarious was going on, but you know, we don't even need to get that far down the road. Okay. Y'all know. So I asked something like, did you go to this person's house? Oh no, I didn't go. I was like, okay. So my next question was, do you have access to the house? Yes. That's a different question. Okay. That's a different question. I could have stopped at, did you go to that person's house? Oh, no, I didn't go. And he'd been telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Okay. But do you have access? Okay. That gets me somewhere else, right? That gets me what I'm actually looking for. Okay. Oh, you see what I'm saying? You gotta, do we have any women or any men who are good at asking questions? Okay. To get what you want, to get what you need, you got to ask a different question. You see what I'm saying? Okay. I hope he's not watching this video. You're like, girl, you put all my business out there. All right. So listen, I've been on here an hour. That's really all I have for y'all. I am so excited. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Okay. So y'all know what the hell is going on with all these things. Okay. And, I had my interview today. I told you guys that I was going to have an interview, and I did. It was so much fun. Like, it really was. So it was an interview to be a learning designer for HackerU. Okay. And man, it was just really fun. It was a very fun thing because I love doing this stuff. And I really do. Remember, I have a Patreon where I talk about these kinds of things. I'm setting up a section for Security Plus training. I really hate that word, but okay. Yeah, you know, for us to talk about Security Plus, all right, whether you have it now or not, all right. And I'm also setting up space for the CISA Plus, okay, for us to talk about that, what it means, what these damn ports are and all that stuff. I mean, you know, all of those things, right? And I have the study materials, and I love studying. That was something that I really love doing, especially with somebody else, okay? So if anybody's going for anything here, you know, and you want to do like a study session with Security Plus, I think we should come online and do it, okay? Because I just love doing it. So just hit me up and let me know. All right, y'all have an amazing evening. Thank you so much for being here. I love and appreciate that you all are here when I do these lives. You're absolutely awesome, every single one of you. All right, thank you so much. And I'm going to see you next time. Okay, have a good night. Bye.